Welcome back to Punch-Out! Last time, Little Mac took on the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd ranked fighters in the World Championship circuits. We now continue with the 1st ranked fighter, Mr. Sandman.
I've heard he's from West Philadelphia. He was born and raised there. Some credible sources told me that on the playground is where he spent most of his days.
Nice Fresh Prince reference there.
It's a great show. Made the 90s for most people in our generation.
You mean Krazy's generation?
Right.
We start off the bout with the 12-2. Ignore all those off-screen losses. Mac against the 27-2, Mr. Sandman. He's doing a great job dodging these blows so far.
He blocked that uppercut for time to think of his next few moves. He's doing pretty amazing. Hasn't taken a hit and dodging accordingly, even if he's getting lucky with those early as heck dodges he makes.
Mac just completely dodges his go-to-sleep maneuver he showed off before the fight began and is laying into Sandman with body blows. Sandman is down! Mac only has a little sliver of health gone because of that block from earlier.
That early dodge though.
Mac recovers quickly and goes in for more body blows. He makes the block but takes the follow-up punch. Then blocks again but doesn't fall for it twice.
I hate how he dodged it so early. I complain about it a lot, but it's true.
That was new. He ducked under one of his punches and capitalized.
I didn't even know you could do that in this game. It's like Krazy somehow figured it out during this fight.
I think it was actually in the Don Flamenco fight, but to see it used so effectively is interesting. The round is now over.
This is a good showing for Mac, even though he's only able to get body blows and he keeps dodging too early. Most fighters would have got knocked down at least twice in the first round.
It's like Mac has prior experience in fighting this man. He must have watched his tapes with Doc Lewis preparing for the fight.
Makes sense. But can Mac keep it up in the incoming round is what I'd like to see.
Mac takes a punch, but doesn't let it faze him too much as he goes in for the knockdown. And he gets it! He is back up at 3! Incredible!
Mr. Sandman goes for the go-to-sleep, but Mac dodges it and lays into him. Dodges into the right hook. Looks like it disoriented Mac. Sandman hits him with a surprise uppercut and knocks Mac down for the first time in this match.
Mac gets up at the count of 6. Sandman goes for the go-to-sleep barrage and misses all 3 hits. Mac lays into him with the body blows and gets the second knockdown.
That's the weakness for most of these special moves. You're too vulnerable if you miss. Most fighters would have been knocked out cold with that move Sandman does. Sends them to dreamland.
Sandman seems desperate.
Sandman misses another punch, and it is over.
Mac has just knocked out Mr. Sandman!
He sure put him to sleep.
You do know what this means, right?
Of course I do.
He is now the #1 contender for the World Championship! Did you ever believe that he would make it this far?
No, I did not. Thinking of the journey up until now, I can't even.
You can't what?
Even.
Well, here's a word from our sponsors. Are you a fan of the classic Sonic the Hedgehog games?
No?
Well, I've got nothing.
But if you are, be sure to check out this game I'm playing.
You play as Lilac,
or her friend, Carol, or even their friend that they meet after the second level, Mila, as they, along with Torque, take on Lord Brevin to prevent him from destroying their world with the source that powers their planet, the Kingdom Stone. This is Freedom Planet. It's on Wii U and Steam if I remember that correctly. I should be up to part 7, so check that series of videos out if you'd like. Am I done here? Where do I pick up my check? I don't get paid for this. Alright, delete the audio. Delete it! Welcome back. Give that series a watch if you have the time.
It is now time for the main event of the evening. Little Mac has a chance to go for the World Championship. His opponent, the current World Champion, Super Macho Man.
Ooh, yeah! I think we have the wrong photo. There we go. There's a reason this man has never lost a match. His secret weapons are the Spin Punch and the Super Spin Punch. He will use the latter as many times as possible to guarantee a knockdown because it's just that powerful. I hope he watched the champ's tapes because he's in for the fight of his life if Mac thinks he will be taking the title tonight.
Macho Man's physique reminds me of Soda Popinski's, as Mac dodges his uppercut and lays into him with those blows.
It looks like Macho Man is seeing stars early on in this fight, as Mac is getting some late punches in after those uppercuts.
The Spin Punch connects!
Did you see how much damage it did? If a regular Spin Punch does half damage, he better not get hit with the upgrade.
Mac is doing surprisingly well even though the Spin Punch hit. Mac's own special attack, the Star Punch, knocks the champ down! And he is back up at the count of 4!
This is when he's at his most dangerous. If, and only if, he gets knocked down, is when he brings in the big gun, the Super Spin Punch.
He used 4 rotations and Mac just dodged them all! He's going to town with those punches!
I'm more surprised he dodged the Super rather than the original. The regular can usually come from nowhere. But even Mac wouldn't have expected the Super so early after the knockdown.
He did watch the tapes.
From all the fights I've seen Super Macho Man in, he usually starts with 2 rotations and ramps it up later. But this time he started with 4 right out of the gates. He sees what Mac is capable of.
Mac just knocked Macho down for the 2nd time!
You better be ready, kid.
4 rotations and Mac has dodged them all again!
This is the kid that dodges so early, DBZ Abridged Piccolo would be ashamed. How has he learned how to dodge the Super Spin Punches if he couldn't dodge one regular Spin Punch?
The round is over! I'd say Super Macho Man is on the ropes as Mac has 2 knockdowns on him while he has none on Mac.
I can see the tide changing as Super Macho Man's body is now Reggie. I mean ready. He does that peck bounce like Terry Crews or John Cena in those hefty commercials. I've heard he can make them laugh.
Oh! Mac is down from the first uppercut of the round!
Must have been thinking about getting some trash bags later.
Mac is back up at the count of 2. Mac has to be really careful like he was in round 1 and not get hit by any of those blows. They can be quite powerful.
Man, now he dodged a regular Spin Punch from out of nowhere and got the knockdown punch. Back up at 3. I sense a Super Spin Punch coming.
Five rotations and he dodged them all! He's laying into them, ending the combo with a Star Punch for extra damage!
Macho Man is actually getting some blows in. This might be the turning point. A super fast spin punch sends Mac right off his feet. Looks like Mac is having trouble getting up.
Mac is back up at the count of 7. He was down but not out. He has to be really careful as he can be TKO'd if knocked down again this round. Mac was able to knock Macho Man down again.
He's getting up. No, he's down. Back up at the count of 8. Mac is in trouble now. He knows what to expect, but does he have the stamina? He just dodged 9 rotations in a row!
Mac is laying into Macho Man! He wants to get this knockdown!
Saved by the bell. Mac looks totally messed up. But what is this kid on that has him able to dodge 9 rotations in a row from a super spin punch?
It must be the Eye of the Tiger.
Don't even start.
You get to make all the references, but I can't?
I just do it better.
Mac is getting encouraging words from Doc that may help him recover into the final round. You can push the select button in between rounds to recover some health once in a fight. It looks like he chose this time to use it, and it barely had any effect as we go into the final round.
Mac is 1 punch away from losing this fight.
We don't know how many more Macho can take.
Considering he's the undefeated champion, he could take a whole lot more. This has to be the one that ends it.
He just dodged another 9 rotation super spin punch and is laying into the Macho Man to get another knockdown. Ref Mario starts the count. He's up at the count.
No, he's down.
Oh my god! Mac just knocked down the champion for his first ever KO by 10 count in the league! He has done it! Little Mac is your world champion! Little Mac is now the world champion! This was such an amazing journey to see as Little Mac, the smallest guy in the league, was able to beat every opponent put in front of him. Save a few 50 fights to work his way up from being an unknown in the sport of boxing to the champion of the world of Punch-Outs.
This kid surprised me to the point where I couldn't believe that he would ever be able to lose a fight, other than those 50 or so losses you didn't see. Don't laugh. The sport of boxing is a tough one. With this especially being an NES game, those were hard by default. If you disagree, we can step into the ring and I'll beat it into you.
I think this is why The Fight retired a few years ago.
This all seems like it's an April Fool's joke. A small guy like that beating all those large fighters? He earned the nickname the Bronx Underdog.
Just so you know, this isn't the last round. There is the dream match that we have all been waiting for.
Sadly, that'll have to wait until the next round.
So I'm Calvin Obbs.
And I'm Mike McCaligaligan.
And we will meet you in the final round. Hold on. We're going into the dream match now?
There was like no preparation for this.
The fight starts as Mac is feeling for his opponent's moves.
It looks like this may be a quick one.